You found Stryker of Enyo, and the following is an excerpt from my main video, I Play Every Xbox Live Arcade Game Part 2, which is a massive 3.5-hour experience that I encourage you to check out if you like what you see here. This version was rendered at nearly 2 to 3 times the bitrate of the original. Defenders of Ardania. This is an interesting narrative look at the way medieval games handle their... Just kidding. Look at the box art. There's a big tower in the center. This is a tower defense game, obviously. And this one actually does do a few new things. We have another title that claims to be the next generation tower defense game, but it ends up having a lot of mixed reviews. You get a number of tutorials, fully voiced, and they really do try to introduce some new towers and concepts to you gradually.
The number of units available at any given time is indicated by a counter. If the counter reaches its maximum, you cannot send forth any more troops.
The big difference is that both sides build towers on the same map, and they both send out troops with the goal of making it to the opposite castle to destroy it. You need to set up towers to stop the enemy making it to your castle, but you also need to buy different types of troops to damage the enemy's castle. But the enemy is also building and placing towers at the same time. You can only send out waves of 5 units at a time, at least in the beginning, but you need to send them out frequently enough so that they can make it through the enemy towers. In my experience, this drags out the playtime way too much. You just need to get a lot of troops through to do enough damage to win. It's not really about strategically planning your attacks, you just keep sending them constantly to whittle down the enemy castle. Ultimately, these innovations end up hindering the experience by limiting the overall enjoyment of the game. The addition of RTS offensive elements just don't gel very well with the gameplay. It can be fun, it does have some humor, and $15 US isn't a bad price for the presentation and the amount of content that you get. But the combination of defense and offense at the same time, it's a rough mix. 5 out of 10. It really needs some better balance and some tweaks to the AI for it to be a better package. You might like its unique design, but unfortunately, Defenders of Ardania has been retired on Steam, so your only chance to get a legal copy is buying it on the Xbox 360 storefront before everything gets delisted in 2024. Defense Grid: The Awakening. This is the award-winning tower defense game that is still held in high regard today. Defense Grid was easily the best tower defense when it released on the consoles by 2009. It showed how to make an impeccably designed game. The sheer amount of content that you got for $10 is commendable. You get 20 unique maps in the Awakening campaign, 4 bonus Borderlands maps, plus over 129 additional challenge modes. You may have noticed these additional titles underneath the main story mission. These are actually additional challenges with modified rules on the same map. You can earn bronze, silver, and gold medals on each of these. These offer a number of different rule sets, and they can also add several hours of additional gameplay. And your friends' scores are listed as you highlight them, so why not try to outscore them? The only problem I have with this exceptionally balanced tower defense game is that it might be over-designed. I have constantly and consistently only been a couple hundred points away from a gold medal. After a lot of playing, you realize that the developer knows exactly how many health points a wave of enemies has, and how much damage your current towers can do, since the amount of money that you earn to buy towers and upgrades are fixed. This means that if I fail a gold medal, then I replay the mission and buy 1 less tower, but I still upgrade everything else the exact same, then I get gold. I'm just saying that the requirements for gold are so meticulously designed that there's not a lot of room for error. For example, look at this mission on Fire Control. I finished with a score of 56,373. I need 56,500 for a gold medal. I missed it by 107 points. That's insane. But if you look at my previous best score, it was 56461, so I missed it by only 39 points. Go back and look at my setup. I was only using 8 towers total in both of those runs. I'm literally missing the gold by only buying 1 less upgrade for 1 tower, as far as I could tell. Damn it, Spillage. Every time I play in my 360, you're... Oh wait, that's corrupt. Okay, never mind. He currently has a gamer score of 2.8 million. He's okay. I thought it was spillage. Spillage always gets in my way by signing in on his 360 while I'm recording footage on mine. But like I was saying, to prove my point, look at the point totals on the mission Ancient Research. Gold is an even 56,000. My current best is only 20 points off. Look at Corrupts, you know, the guy that just popped up on screen. He got gold, but his score is only 30 points over. My other friend got it by only 87 points. And the guy above him beat it by only 132 points. Now, these are all different players, and we didn't talk about this or discuss any of this stuff. All the scores are way too close to each other to be just happenstance. I just wish there was more wiggle room for getting the points that you need to get gold. That's all I'm saying. This is still a fantastic game all these years later, with a good 10 hours of gameplay and plenty of challenges to try out when you get tired of the story. 8 out of 10, an excellent game. Yep, there's spillage right on time, you son of a bitch! This is gonna be a long video series. This was another game that was announced to be delisted on the February 7th, 2023 Xbox 360 Marketplace update. At the time of this video, you can't buy it on the 360, and you also can't buy it on the other Xbox storefronts. And only some of the DLC is able to be purchased on those newer Xbox consoles. Steam is your only other option for this game. They have the base game and all of the DLC. If not, maybe even an extra pack that's not on 360. Defense Technica from Kuno Interactive. Like, really? Defense Technica? Wow, why not just call your game Defense of the Tower if you're going to be that blunt about it? The description reads, the genre-defining 3D tower defense game Defense Technica. Think you know tower defense? Think again. Really? On Metacritic, there aren't even enough reviews to formulate a score for the 360 and the PlayStation 3 versions. When I made this video, there were actually no critic or user reviews even posted. You can see for yourself, no professional critics even bothered to play this game when it came out. So how does it actually play? Well, for a game that tries to insist that it's the next level of the genre, it's a fairly basic tower defense game. I was going to be harsh on the presentation, but it's really not that bad considering it's a small team making a 360/PlayStation 3 game. It looks fine for the time. Defense Technica also came out a good 4 years after Defense Grid, and there's really not anything that it does that's better than what Defense Grid did. I like how some of the stages seem bigger with more pathways to divert enemies. Like, look at this one. I blocked off a few places, but then I realized that I could block off another route, making them go all the way around now, forcing them past several more of my towers. This feels great. This game can also be hard. Enemies come in fast, seemingly before you have enough money, and they just need to get to the core. Then they attack it directly for massive damage. They don't need to make their way back out with energy crystals or power cores, they just start doing damage once they get there. Many enemies also drop energy cubes on death. These give you more resources, but you need to move your mouse cursor over them in order to collect them. And they disappear after a short amount of time, so you constantly have to sweep around the map looking for them. I really hate this aspect. Defense Technica also just throws you into the gameplay. It's not very user-friendly. The only feature that is even close to being groundbreaking was the new weather effects, but they just neutralize certain towers when affected, so you just need to build alternate towers to compensate for them. That's it. That's the big change. There's also no narration on the backstory, and there's not much info about certain towers or enemies. All you get is a quick audio description on each tower as you build it for the first time on a map.
Stabber installed. Stabbers are specialized in effective short-ranged attacks. Submachine gun installed. Submachine guns attack all aircrafts and enemy units approaching.
That's the only audio that you get. 5 out of 10. There is no backwards compatibility, so if it looks interesting to you, then you might want to pick this up before the 360 store closes. You can still find it on Steam as of the release of this video. Would you like to know more? Did you like the video you just watched? Then leave a comment, even give me a like. Then head to my channel for more. I got several series like Rage Quit 2, How the F Did I Die, and I even have a playlist for everything related to the I Play Every Xbox Live arcade game. You'll find all the parts, including higher bitrate versions of certain segments and eventually audio commentaries. If you want to see what I'm currently working on, then check the community tab on my channel, it's just right here. This is where I give occasional updates on what I'm working on and mention what's coming up next. If you want to watch the main video where this segment came from, then it should be showing up right about now, on the upper left side of the screen. The playlist for the entire series will be on the lower right. Thank you for any watch time that you can spare. The response on the series has been very positive, so thank you all.